Hello everybody and welcome to episode 29 of my Human Mage playthrough. Today we are currently in Duskwood where we were at the end of last episode when we did the stockade, and today we are going to continue doing some quests in this area. Specifically at the start of the episode I want to continue our quest against Morbenfell with Sven-Jorgen, so I'm going to go ahead and start returning to Sven-Jorgen's camp right now. We now have Morbensbane, which we have collected the ingredients for throughout multiple episodes, and then brought to Grimond Elmore in Stormwind City, and now we have this weapon, and it looks like we should be careful on the road heading west towards Ravenhill because it looks like Stitches is about, so let's just keep an eye out for him. But with this weapon we will be able to remove the protective enchantments around Morbenfell, and we will be able to defeat this necromancer and bring some justice to Sven-Jorgen, who lost his family. So let's go ahead and head towards Ravenhill, and then I'll keep an eye out for Stitches. Running along the road here, we have Stitches. The Night Watch are making their defense to fight against this enemy, and I'm just going to go ahead and walk straight around him. And I got attacked by a wolf, and I'm getting attacked by Stitches, so I'm going to go ahead and just continue running. I'm going to blink when I can. If he gets close, I'm going to go ahead and Frost Nova. I'm going to hope he doesn't one-shoot me, and it looks like he is gaining ground on me, and we got far enough away, so he ran away. So that is good. I kind of saw our lives flash before our eyes there, but we seem to be okay. So let us continue heading towards Ravenhill. Back at Sven-Jorgen's camp, let's go ahead and have a chat with him. So he says, this will be proof against the fiend of Morbenfell. Well done, you are ready. Morbenfell will fall. Morbenfell hides in his lair, the house perched atop the hill to the east overlooking the Ravenhill Cemetery. His time in this land is drawing to an end. Use Morbensbane against him, it will render his protective magics powerless. Slay him and save us from his wickedness. Be the instrument of my revenge and a hero of Duskwood. So doing that, we will be able to pick a nice item for us, and we will also get a Torch of Holy Flame, which I don't think I'm too interested in, but I'm interested in both these pants and this cloak. So I'm going to go ahead and definitely pick one of those, and I am excited to do this quest. So let's go ahead and equip Morbensbane, and we can go ahead and run up towards this hill here. We currently don't have our staff equipped, so we'll be a little bit weaker because of that. But I think it'll be okay because we will definitely need this offhand in order to defeat Morbenfell. So we have the house up the hill over here. Let's just get to the top of this hill, climb all the way up. And there are a ton of undead around the house, and I would assume that there are some undead inside the house as well. So let's just begin working our way towards where we need to go here. Killed a couple undead on the outside the house. Gonna go ahead and kill this one as well. Maybe I should kill a skeletal raider, but I'm gonna go ahead and just fight this plague spreader, which is very low level, and we hit him for a lot. And then we can go ahead and go inside the house here, and we can see what type of minions are here. I see a brain eater right there, so let's go ahead, and I see two brain eaters. I'm gonna go ahead and just come this way a little bit. And it looks like the other brain eater is coming as well. I am a little low on mana, not too low, so hopefully we'll be able to deal with the situation. I also have a ton of diseases on me, and I don't think I have any way to remove diseases as a mage unless I have like a potion. I can only remove curses, I believe. So that is a little unfortunate that we're just a little weaker, especially since one of this is that we lose mana, but whatever. I am getting really low on health actually, so I'm just going to back up a tiny bit, and I might have to use a mana potion here, and I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, I'm so scared. Okay, looks like we defeated this one, and we can go ahead and loot this one, and then let's heal back up and then head into this house. I should put Morbensbane on to my skill bars just so I have it ready, so when I can use this when targeting Morbensbane, and then it will remove his enchantments. We have another brain eater right here, and I hear one walking above me, so I know there's another one at least. There might be multiple, I can't entirely tell, but we'll see once we come around this corner here. One skeletal raider, one brain eater, and then Morbenfell. So I'm just going to heal back up as a precaution, even though I want to pull just the skeletal raider. And then I'll pull the brain eater, and I think Morbenfell is going to come along with him. So I'm going to have to try to... Oh, there's a lot of things in there. Okay. Let's think this through. Let's kill the skeletal raider first. So I'm thinking that I might just blitz Morbenfell, and I'll start off by removing his protective barrier. I've just noticed that this quest is a group quest. I probably should have noticed that beforehand, and maybe I've gotten some help. But let's go ahead and try to just remove his barrier, deal some damage to him, and then we can just use our Frost Nova, try to kite, and I'm going to focus only on casting Frost Bolts, and if I die that is okay as long as I kill Morbid Fell. So let's try this out here. Let's use this, and then let's go ahead and attack this Necromancer here. I'm getting hit a lot here, so I'm going to go ahead and just come over here, and I think this is not going to work out for me, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and just run this way a little bit so I can try to get a safe spot to resurrect at. And then I might try to find some help. So I can just resurrect outside the house here. I'll go ahead and buff up again and then go ahead and restore my health and mana. So this might actually be a quest that I have to come back to. I haven't had this happen to me a lot, though I don't do many elite quests in this Let's Play series, but I think I might come back here because we have another quest that we can pick up here that is going to lead to a level 35 quest. So we're not going to be able to do that for a while, but we will return here at around level 35, so we could try fighting Morbid Fell then, but I might just leave this quest as is for now anyways. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up my staff again, and then let's interact with this weathered grave here that it reads Morgan Lattimore. Upon further examination, you notice that dirt over the grave has been recently disturbed and that a good amount of the dirt seems to have been displaced. So let's go ahead and speak with Sierra Von Indy and Darkshire, and we can go ahead and return to Darkshire to do that quest, but it is a level 35 quest. So now we have several quests that I am interested in doing, and I'll keep an eye on chat if someone wants to do Morbid Fell, but if no one is, we will go ahead and come back when we are a little stronger. But now I'm going to go ahead and not do this quest right here, but I'm going to head to the Ogre Mound in southwestern Duskwood, where we have a couple quests here, one of which is for the Hermit Abercrombie, who I'm very suspicious of, and I'm kind of concerned about what we might be doing with this quest, but we'll go ahead and complete these two quests real quickly. So here we are at the Vogel Ogre Mound, and let's go ahead and start fighting through some of these ogres. They're actually quite low level, even though these quests are level 30. I'm going to assume the ogres further into the compound are a little bit of a higher level. So let's go ahead, and I was trying to jump up this hill. We can come over here and we can try to find the two items we need. One is an ogre's monocle, which drops from a specific ogre, I believe, and then the other is Abercrombie's crate, and we're getting attacked by this ogre here. So let's go ahead and deal with him. Looks like he kind of aimed towards where we were at instead of where we were going, which is a classic rookie mistake. So looking in here, there are some higher level ogres now, so let's go ahead and start clearing these ones away. And I believe the crate that we need to get is just over here, and then we're going to have to go into this cave a little bit to try to find the monocle. So I got the crate from this pile of barrels and crates right there, so let's go ahead and start diving into this ogre mound, and I believe the ogre we need actually wanders around in here, so we should keep an eye out everywhere, and then we will try to fight him. I don't want to go in too deep because there are a ton of ogres in here and I don't want to deal with all of them, so we'll go ahead and maybe just hang out in this area. If you see him coming this way, we'll just let him come this way and fight him in this area. There's also the possibility that he does not wander around, so we'll just have to wander around and try to find him ourselves. So I don't see him down this area, so let's go ahead and continue down this path. And we have a firemonger here that we can fight. And looking there, it looks like we found Zarkvul, so let's go ahead and fight this firemonger. I don't see anyone too close to him. There is one ogre wandering up this way, so let's be careful of this guy. And looks like that ogre's wandering away. This ogre's dealt with, so let's go ahead and pull this little bit of a boss here, and we can go ahead and get the monocle that we need. Looks like he is very easy, already at half health. Let's go ahead and just cast a couple more frostbolts, so the critical hit there is going to help us. And then let's go ahead and loot this monocle, and then that is the two quests that we had to do in this area, so let's go ahead and get out of here, and we can return to Abercrombie. But on the way back, I wanted to head over to this area really quickly because we had not explored it, but I wanted to check out Adel's Stead, and mostly I just wanted to uncover the map art like I just did, but I also kind of want to peek in here a little bit and kind of see what it looks like, and it has a road leading back towards Ravenhill coming out of it. So it looks like there are a ton of defies here, and I'm going to go ahead and just ignore them, and we'll go ahead and head back towards Ravenhill Cemetery and leave this farm for maybe something else in the future, but for now, nothing. Here we are back at the Hermit. Let's go ahead and chat with him, and we can go ahead and give him the crate. And he says, "Thank the neck." Well, thank you, Athos. You have more than earned your reward. Aha, happy nights ahead. Now we have a new quest. Take this note to Elo Ebenloch, the mayor of Darkshire. He and I are old friends, and when he reads it and discovers what you did for me, I'm sure he'll be just as happy as I am. And he laughs. Go ahead and accept this. And then I'm very concerned. Let's go ahead and read this letter. And it says the letters on this note seem to flicker and dance across its surface. It is impossible to glean meaning from them. So we can go ahead and return to Darkshire and we can turn in this quest. But first I'm going to go ahead and head down in towards the crypt here, and we can go ahead and clear out some of these plague spreaders here. We have already killed 3 of the plague spreaders when we were over by Morbin Phil's house, so let's go ahead and just continue our work here. So I have been thinking about the topic of dungeons recently, especially after last episode when we did the stockade, and I feel like I am relatively done with dungeons. When I'm looking at this specific Let's Play series, the Human Mage playthrough, there isn't too much more that I want to do as far as dungeons go. There are a couple that I'm interested in doing on this character, but I might not do them on this character, and I might do it in future Let's Play series. We'll just see how I feel when I get to them. And of course, when we get to the level that we need to be for the few dungeons that I've been thinking about, I might feel differently. But for now, I feel like the stockade might be the last dungeon that we do for a while, just because I'm not super interested in them, and I don't really want to play through them, and I need a heal there. And we'll go ahead and defeat this bone shearer. But I've had slightly negative experiences with the 2 dungeons that I have done in this series, and I have general negative experiences with groups and World of Warcraft as a whole, which is really unfortunate, but it kind of pushes me towards wanting to play by myself. So I'm going to do what I want to do, and if I do end up wanting to do something else, it is something I'm wanting to do, so I'll go ahead and do that as well. I think if the looking for group tool is ever added into the Wrath of the Lich King version of the game, I might go ahead and do dungeons a little bit more, probably not super often, as like in general they aren't super interesting for me. Like I enjoy them a little bit, but like they're just not like my favorite thing in the world, but I would still enjoy doing them every now and then. So let's work our way into the catacombs here, and we can go ahead and clear out more of these ghouls. So I got backstabbed by this ghoul here, and now this 3rd ghoul is coming up to us, so this is a little dangerous for us. I'm going to go ahead and use Healing Potion and Mana Agate, and then it looks like we just have 1 more left here, and we should be able to deal with it, but I feel like if I had not used those 2 items there, we would be in a little bit of a pickle. So we have 4 more plague spreaders that we need to fight in order to complete this quest, so let's go ahead and head back out of the catacombs here. I didn't think I was going to hit them. Let's go ahead and attack this plague spreader, and I accidentally killed both of them. So let's go ahead and deal with these 2, and then we'll only have to deal with 2 more. And now the last plague spreader that we have to fight, and I believe this is like the last major like grinding quest or like general quest that doesn't involve a boss that we have to do in this area. Not entirely sure, we'll figure it out as we go turn in the quests that we currently have. But let's go ahead and fight this plague spreader, defeat him, and then I'm going to go ahead and Hearthstone back to Darkshire because we are all done in this area except for Morbin Phil, and I checked with the people in this map again, and it looks like no one's really interested in doing it right now. There's a couple people right here, maybe I could ask them, but I think they are like friends who are leveling right now. So I'm going to go ahead and just come back over here to where I won't be interrupted while I cast my Hearthstone, and I'll go ahead and return to Darkshire, and then we can turn in all these quests. So let's go ahead and talk to Althea Ebonlock here for the Night Watch, and we can get a new bag, so we could either get a quiver or ammo pouch, which is really only good for hunters, or you could get a 10-slot bag, and she thanks us on behalf of the people of Darkshire. So let's go ahead and get the silver, and then let's look at the bags we currently have. So we could upgrade one of our 8-slot bags here, so let's go ahead and put this bag in, and now we have 2 extra slots. Let's go ahead and come into here, and let's go ahead and talk to the historian of Darkshire, and he says, Morgan Lattimore, yes, of course. His was a long and sorrowful tale. I knew him well before he left for the war, but that was the last time I saw him. A noble and good man he was, but he suffered a bad end. Here, I should have something here that can tell the tale better than my own collections. The historian searches through the shelves and comes up with a leather-bound book. If you would like to know more, you might ask Althea. She's been the one to handle the trouble with him of late. Let's go ahead and accept this, and we can go ahead and read through this book, but really quickly I'm going to run into here, and we can go ahead and bring this note to the mayor because I'm very concerned about the hermit. Let's go ahead and see what we might have done on accident. So the mayor says, Abercrombie, I don't know a person of that name. You say you have a letter for me from this Abercrombie fellow? Well, let's have it then. Ella looks up the letter. What language is this? It looks ancient. I can't read it. He says, take the note you gave me to Sira von Indy. He's very learned in languages and ancient arts. If anyone here can translate this message, it's he. So now I'm very concerned about this letter. Let's go ahead and talk to the historian once again that we just talked to. You can go ahead and turn this in. And he says, a note from Abercrombie the Hermit. I don't know him, though he lives out at the graveyard, then I do know his brains are rotted out. He begins translating the note. He says, I'm almost finished translating that note. If you come back in a few moments, I should be done. Wait a moment and speak with him again. Let's go ahead and speak with him again. And he says, there we are. It's translated. The air grows heavy as if a thick black curtain is drawn over the land. He says, Athos, the translation is finished. Oh my, if what is written on this note is true, then Abercrombie's done something unspeakable. You better bring this translated note back to Elo and do so quickly, for I fear doom already lumbers towards our town. So this is not good. Let's go ahead and read this translated letter. And it says, Greetings, Elo Ebonloch, Mayor of Darkshire. I'm afraid I have news for your town, grave news. You see, I am a creator. I fooled the bearer of this note into aiding me in my latest, most dire creation, a fiend of flesh and bone and twisted metal. As you read this, is likely outside my humble dwelling, gnashing its teeth and waiting for my word to go forth in slaughter, but you'll know soon enough. So this guard just ran into here, and as his Mayor Elo, our graveyard scouts returned with ominous reports. Wolves headed this way, as if fleeing from something. So let's go ahead and talk to the Mayor of Darkshire here, and he says that although the aid you gave Abercrombie may have been motivated from kindness, your actions have doomed our town. The Embalmer is a name told in one of our children's stories. He was a kindly alchemist driven mad by the death of his wife, Eliza. To restore her, he used dark magic to place his own heart within the bosom of his dead spouse. This revived Eliza, but it cursed her with a hunger for human flesh, forcing the Embalmer to keep her buried. His heart is his power. Find his wife's grave, retrieve his heart, and bring it to me while it still beats. Do this, and his power will be broken. So let's go ahead and pick up this quest, and it looks like we will be heading back towards Ravenhill. So it looks like the monster, the abomination Stitches, was actually made by S. On accident, we had turned in all these items to Abercrombie, and he used them to create the gift from him to the town of Darkshire. And unfortunately, it looks like Stitches is on his way here again. And we already know how this tale goes from when another player did it, but the town will have to defend itself against the abomination, and will successfully drive the abomination back. But let's go ahead and talk to Althea Ebonloch, and she says, Morgan Lattimore, never heard of... Oh, you mean Morladdam. I guess you haven't heard the story? Well, I'll give you the short version. A wandering undead calling itself Morladdam has been wandering Duskwood. From what we've gathered, it appears to be the undead body of Morgan Lattimore, of whom you apparently know. He's been calling us all sorts of problems, attacking watchmen on patrol and killing people. You seem to be capable enough, maybe you could lay him to rest. So we can go ahead and pick up this quest, which is a level 35 quest, so we are not going to be doing it right now. So when we reach that level, we will go ahead and go do that quest. But let's go ahead and come up here, and we can turn in this quest now. So we can turn in this Ogre's Monocle, and then we can pick up one of these items, and I'm definitely going to pick up these gloves because it is a nice upgrade to what we have. And that is the last quest that we have with Victory here. So let's go ahead and equip these gloves. And now let's go ahead and head towards Ravenhill Cemetery, and we can deal with the Embalmer here, the hermit that we unfortunately have helped throughout multiple episodes, and we had caused a disaster. So let's make our way back towards Ravenhill. And then I guess I'm going to have to run back here because I used my Hearthstone, but it was one or the other, so whatever. I'm just running back towards Ravenhill Cemetery, and I found this chest right here, so let's go ahead and open it. I was just cutting through the woods so I don't get attacked by Stitches. The spider's coming up, and I had some mana potions as well as some water, but we don't need the water. I guess juice to be specific, so I'll go ahead and sell those, but the mana potions are definitely nice. I just noticed the quest for the Bride of the Embalmer is an elite level quest, so it might be really difficult for us, and we might have to return here and do it when we do the other quests. So that will be something we do in a future episode once we are more powerful and a higher level. But let's go ahead and give it a try, and if I fail, I fail. I know there were some people around this area, so maybe they'll help out if I am fighting anyone here. So we have Abercrombie here, and we have Eliza's grave dirt. So let's go ahead and rummage through this. Can go ahead and open the coffin, and I'm a little scared. So it says, Aber, is that you? Oh, I'm so hungry, Aber, so hungry. So let's go ahead and fight Eliza. So this is an elite mob, and I have a feeling already that we are not going to be able to defeat her. And it looks like she has guards, which is not good. So let's go ahead and maybe I'll jump up here. I'll go ahead and heal. It looks like I am going to die. So let's go ahead and maybe just return to Darkshire. I'm going to go ahead and just talk to the spirit healer, return me to life, and I'm going to go ahead and do the Walk of Shame and head back towards Darkshire, because I don't think I have any chance for that right now, and I would go ahead and do it when I come back to do Morbid Fell and Morladdam. We can go ahead and fight Eliza as well. Running back towards Darkshire, we can see Stitches is here, so it looks like I couldn't escape him after all. And I have a feeling that I might actually die here, so I'm going to try to give a wide berth to Stitches right now, and let's go ahead and come into the woods a little bit and go ahead and get way ahead of him. Looks like we are far enough to the right of him that he won't attack us, and based out that distance, it looks like I can begin cutting back in towards the road, and then I can make the rest of the way back towards Darkshire. So I feel a little defeated from the quest this episode, but that just means that we have to grow and become stronger and come back when we are stronger, and maybe even come back when there are more people online and it's not 3 a.m. on the east coast of the United States. But that will be a time for another episode. I think next episode I'm going to go ahead and continue doing some quests here in Duskwood. We have a little bit that we have left to do, and I think some of them are going to lead to some elite quests that we might also have to hold off on, but we will go ahead and attempt them as well. But as far as this episode goes, I'm going to go ahead and call it good here. I'll come into the kitchen because I haven't really been in here too much. I hope y'all are taking good care of yourselves. Remember to drink some water, check your posture, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time in the world of Azeroth. Goodbye.